He has a book also from Raw Dog Screaming Press, My Landlady, the Lobotomist, and he's local and actually did all the footwork for setting up this event, so I'm going to thank him for that too. I don't know, you can fill in whatever you feel the need to, but yeah, Eckhard is also a member of our Bizarro message board that we all post on that you can find at bizarrocentral.com, which is a great place to get information about Bizarro. But again, I want to put a word in for the $5 ultimate cheap Bizarro starter kits. Where else are you going to get a novella called Baby Jesus Butt Plug and a novella about a guy who survives a nuclear holocaust by making a suit of cockroaches? It's in here. So, seriously, great stuff. So anyways, Eckhard?
A couple of things. I thought I'd read a couple of shorter pieces. Actually, an excerpt out of the Bizarro starter kit to start with. I have a novella in here called Nin and Nan, which has two protagonists who are gender ambiguous. So they go throughout the entire novel without their gender ever being revealed. But the one thing that does bother them is when their personal space is encroached on by civilization. They're out in the middle of nowhere and they start seeing signs pick up, get posted, and eventually they become completely fed up. And right at that moment, when they're completely fed up, an actual person comes to their home that they suspect of having something to do with the government, but really he's just a traveling musician who dresses like Uncle Sam and goes by the moniker of Uncle Sam. Mm-hmm. And he performs for them a little song. Z-buzz, 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 z-boom-ba-doom, z-buzz, 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 z-boom-ba-doom. We send our bombs hailing down on you, those of you in Sector Blue, you who've been so gravel blind as to take Granny Smith for Gravenstein. A smash, a smash, a smash. Cracker Ragnarok, a smash, a smash, a smash. Cracker Ragnarok. We saw the signs come down in flames and the erasure of our agents' names. We saw the road get taken down by a modern James gang, as they say in town. Clickety-snap. Clickety-snap. Cuff 'em, read 'em their rights, then string 'em up from the highest tree. We'll have peace in town tonight. There'll be no deviation from our prescription. The road will have to be rebuilt. Kill the wrecking crew before they kill you. Can't you see their guilt? Snap, swing, 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 snap, swing, zim-boom-a-doom. No one can stop us now or tell us what to sing. Death to our friends, our enemies. Death to all we see. Death to the infidel and to the God-fearing. See them in that tree? Zip-buzz, 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 zip-boom-a-doom, zip-buzz, 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 zip-boom-a-doom. Having a little fun with, been having a little fun with political satire. Our friend and mutual Raw Dog Screaming Press author, Earl Jaffe, a couple of years ago sent a letter around saying that in this present climate, political climate, it's somewhat irresponsible of an author not to address the dire needs of the political situation in the world at present. And I thought, well, rather than keeping my head poked in the sand, maybe I'll have some fun with politics as well. And so that touches both Nin and Nan to some extent. and my Landlady the Lobotomist. There's really 3 stories in Landlady the Lobotomist that are going on concurrently. One is this kind of German neo-romantic story about a guy who believes he's a dragonfly and he falls in love with this blue angelfish that's eternally elusive, and so it has that kind of German romantic symbolism going through it. Then there's also Godzilla, who was there at the birth of the female messiah, Jesus, who for some reason, unbeknownst to him, has turned on him, and now he believes that he's the good guy, and she, of course, is the bad one. So he's looking for some vengeance there.
Wow.
And then the story of a guy who works at a local college and has to deal with his living situation at home, where he has this landlady who collects lobotomies and keeps them on jars, and jars scattered throughout the house, and the lobotomies are labeled by some sort of deficiency in that person, you know, bad table manners, and it makes the residents of this house that she holds wonder if the rooming house, if this was perhaps the fate of some of the earlier residents, and that's where these bottles came from. So he's always wondering about that as well. I wanted to read one of the little political sections though from here. This is a little piece inside the novel called The New President. Well, between you and me, I'll tell you since you ask, and because I like that memorabilia store of yours. It began on the first day of the bad weather back when I was a young man. I turned off the incredible Mr. Limpet and stormed outside into the rain. My shield on my arm, my helmet visor down, I climbed up onto my giant arachnoid steed and strapped myself safely into the saddle. We charged off in the direction of the city looking for flyers announcing nightclub winner-take-all jousting contests. I won one dual jousting in gelatin, but before I could advance to the next round, my spider ran off and left me there without a mount. Meager winnings in hand, I began looking for a place to bed down, and that was when I heard the city gong announcing emergency curfew. The law was that anyone outside would have to enter the nearest door immediately and stay there until the gong sounded again. Doors were not permitted to have locks, and the residents were not permitted to refuse anyone entry. I happened to be walking across the old Printers Row ruins at the time, crossing towards the hotel district. The nearest door led into a tower of 5 orders that stood alone as a reminder of the existence of a one-time pseudo-intellectual printing firm that had occupied this space. I presume the architectural reference to Oxford's Bodleian Library was designed to instill confidence in the perspicacity of the firm. Most people, however, have long ago given up any allegiance to the mind, and when confronted by any object that required analytical thought, responded with the pat phrase, "That sucks," and looked around for something to smash the object with. Inside, I dried myself and waited out the curfew. Such curfews were called upon occasions of civil unrest, and I presumed that the sucks gangs were wilding again. I had recently heard of the destruction of the Louvre in France by such gangs and thought that they would probably have made Napoleon proud. I broke apart some beat-up furniture I found in a storage closet and set it ablaze in the hearth of the sitting room. Of course, I forgot about the flue and the room filled with smoke. I tried to open the flue, but it was rusted shut from years of neglect. I had to escape the smoke. Could not risk going outside, so the only way to go was up the tower.